notes not to remember what to say, but to try to say less. We'll all have our strengths and weaknesses. One of my weaknesses is knowing when to stop talking. So I just wanted to thank everyone for being here this morning and acknowledge that there have been a little bit of shift in the COVID protocol, a little bit higher density in the hall, and I hope that people were able to find a place that felt comfortable to you or safe to you in the layers that we have here at the temple today. If you're ever concerned about that, please feel free to talk with me or with the Shuso Genjo, and we're constantly mediating that and trying to provide the best environment. So this morning is jam-packed with some very important things. 4 ritual gates that we will undergo here in a couple minutes together as a community. And I just wanted to talk a little bit about ritual gates before we get started, and then a little bit about what each of these ritual gates will be and how it is that we'll enact them together. Can people outside hear okay? No? Can we go up a little level?
The microphone was off, the speaker was off, so it's pretty well.
How about now? What if I speak like this? That's good? Okay, I have middle school teacher projection capacities. So I will speak loud. For those of you in the hall, bear with us. So when we talk about ritual gates, it's important for us to understand that a ritual gate is an expedient means. And in Buddhism, this term expedient means is really central to our understanding of how it is that the Buddha Dharma informs any given person's life. Sometimes we call them skillful means. And the basic understanding is that the Buddha teaches the Buddha's awakening consistently and constantly. But the way that individual beings can hear that awakening or the teaching of that awakening is different. And the Buddha's capacity is such that that truth can reach our ears in a form that we need to be able to hear it. Ritual gates and practice paths, ways of practicing, are this type of skillful means. There really is only one awakening. There really is only the one truth of the Buddha's enlightenment. And yet in our lives, that will look like different things. And so a ritual gate is an opportunity for us to encounter the teachings of the Buddha, to orient our life through those teachings. And a ritual helps us to do that, or it requires us to do that. Oftentimes in spiritual teaching, we have the inclination to think that the spiritual is formless, and that things that carry a definite form are somehow, we can dispense with them. But this is not the teachings of Buddhism. In Buddhism, we say that the ultimate truth is completely intimate with things. Any phenomena, any activity, any idea is completely intimate, is not separate from at all the Buddha's awakening. It is a part of a mandala. It is a part of a whole world system that is continually circumambulating that deep and profound truth that the Buddha woke up to. And so today, the 4 ritual gates that we will encounter, the first one is the opening of term. So at Buddha Ai, we have the practice of taking up a kind of concentrated practice for 90 days at a time. So today will mark the beginning of that practice term. And many of you here today are term students. meaning that you've signed up for a 90-day period of practicing with certain kinds of commitments for that 90 days. This is an expedient means. It's a way for us to receive the teaching and then to enact it through our life. 90 days isn't forever, but somewhere around 30 to 33 days in, it feels like forever. So there's something really special about this. It asks us to go farther than we would just by our own power. Our own power, you can keep up a week, 2 weeks, 4 weeks maybe, but then it gets 5 weeks, 6 weeks, it's pretty hard. So we rely on each other, the community of practitioners, both those people who are term students and those who aren't term students, but then particularly on our fellow term students, the people who are taking that same dedication for that period of time, and for the teachers and various leaders that are running all of the programs. So the first ritual gate today will be term students coming forward and offering their term commitments here at the altar. We'll chant the Heart of Great Perfect Wisdom Sutra, and at the end of that sutra, the mantra Gate Gate Parasam Gate Bodhi Svaha. We'll recite that over and over again, and all the term students will come forward and make that offering. And that marks the beginning of the practice term. You're on the hook. The second ritual gate this morning will be the formal installation of the head monk, or Shuso, who will be Genjo for this practice period. This marks the culmination of years of training as a novice priest. Training is not for us to get somewhere. Training is so that we become what it is that we want to be. Or we train to live in the way that we wish to live. So for Genjo, training over these past 5-6 years has not been a training so that he could get done with training. It's a training so that his life completely becomes that training, and that he totally aligns with the training of a Sodo Zen monk. And so becoming the Shuso, or the head monk, is referred to as standing up the body. That's the term in Japanese is Rishin. So his body of a priest has to stand up now. It has to have an independence. And becoming the Shuso is the gateway to that. He has to stand up in the community as a leader, as an example, and has to make decisions. And a lot of things now, I say, oh, I don't know, you decide. So it's a lot of pressure, right? It's a good kind of pressure, the kind of pressure that forges him in his life as a priest. And so that will be a brief ceremony where he comes forward and receives a white sash, which will be sewn to his kesa, which originally symbolizes someone who has trained for so long that the fold of their kesa has become white, like all the dye has come out of their robe. The third ritual gate that we will enter through together this morning is the ordination of Ogyoku, who will become a formal student. I hate that term, or formal student. It just seems so rigid. But I don't know what a better term is. It's a way in which a teacher and a student pledge something to each other. It's a deep commitment to see Buddha. For the student to see the Buddha in their teacher, and for the teacher to see the Buddha in their student. And while this is true in all of the relationships, less formal relationships of students and teachers within this tradition, to be ordained as a formal student or as a disciple is to take up that life in a committed, lifelong way. Ogyoku entered into postulancy, which is the step before becoming a novice priest, at Segaki last year. And she trained diligently over almost this past, it's been almost a year. And as we moved through various discussions this summer, it became clear to both of us that right now was not the time to enter into training as a monk, but that the path that suits her, at least at this point, is one of a Koji, which I'll talk about next. So usually the end of a postulancy period, there's a stepping down from postulancy ceremony or an ordination. So the ordination that we will undergo today is her ordination as a disciple, but not as a novice priest. The fourth ritual gate that we'll undergo this morning is the entering into training as a Koji. And so Jikie, Reiko, and Ogyoku will each enter into the life of a Koji trainee. And what I mean by that is, much like a novice priest, there's a period of time where you train to live out that particular practice path. The practice path of a Koji is to be a visible representative of the temple, a visual representative of the lineage, while at the same time staying deeply connected with their vocation in the world and living out the Buddha Dharma through those connections in their vocation outside of the temple. So a Koji trains to live out, to uphold the mandala of the temple community. Again, all of us do that. But a Koji takes on a particular responsibility to know how to move, to know how to guide others, to know how to teach the Dharma, so that the whole community can be uplifted. This is a position which has not been widely celebrated or available in Japanese Buddhism, at least for the past several hundred years. But here at Buddha-ai Temple and among Soto Zen temples across North America, this place of a person who is not exactly a monk, but is also not exactly a lay person, has become more and more important. And I'm very happy to see that they will enter into that training and challenge me and challenge this community to see the truth of their lives with real clarity and integrity. So for the first one, you got to chant. And on the second one, unless you're Genjo, you don't even have to look interested. Just be meditative. And then the third one, if you're not Ogyoku, same thing. The fourth one, if you're not Jikie, Reiko, or Ogyoku, same thing. And then we'll do the Pali refuges to finish up. I always feel like it's important to say that ritual is a deeply moving and meditative thing. In a way, it's a performance. In a way, we're acting something out like a play. But it's not just how do I observe what's happening. There's something that's happening in what seems like an external world, and there's something that's happening on deep and subtle layers that you cannot see with your human eye, with your fleshy eye, we would say in Buddhism. You have to see with another part of your capacity for vision. And so my encouragement in these kinds of rituals is to just be interested, not only in the flow of the outward form, but also in the way that your own internal being is deeply informed by what is happening. In that way, it is a most profound teaching and a deep encouragement for you, even if you're not directly participating in that part of the ritual. Okay?
doctrine, the original teacher, Shakyamuni Buddha. To the countless Buddhas and Bodhisattvas that permeate the myriad worlds. To the eternal three jewels in the 10 directions. And to all teachers of the true Dharma who transmitted the flame, that we may repay their compassionate blessings. Today, September 19th, 2021, is the opening of the Mountain Seed practice term. Having made practice commitments and offerings to the teacher of this mountain gate, may the term students be supported in their aspirations for awakening, and may their sincere practice of the Buddha way bring true nourishment to all living beings.
The third ancestor said that the way is not difficult if only you do not pick and choose. To stand up the body is to feel the wind, to wield the black staff that gives and takes away life, to risk hurting others. Why do you choose to enter this path?
The brokenness is not mine alone. And yet I stand here, I kneel here, I prostrate here, broken one among many. Someone's gotta bleed and share the blood willingly, as it seems our ancestors have done for generations, and just once.
I could not wish this burden on anyone, but I share it with you.
What's it good for?
That's what you have to find out. Ungiri Bazurumbata, Ungiri Bazurumbata, Ungiri Bazurumbata, Ungiri Bazurumbata, Ungiri Bazurumbata, Ungiri Bazurumbata. Umbang, umbang, umbang. The source of mind is utterly calm. The sea of the Dharma profoundly deep. Those who are deluded about this flounder in confusion for endless kalpas. Those who awaken to it attain liberation in this very place. To clarify the path within the duties of the world is an ancient vow of fearless bodhisattvas. Our great teacher, Buddha Shakyamuni, dedicated countless lives helping others cross the great river of suffering, simply sharing his strengths with others. Through countless lives of countless bodies and countless responsibilities, the great bodhisattva found a way to illuminate the world. Indeed, do not doubt. Upon the arising of Bodhi mind, Buddha awakening is already completely round and full. Upon atoning for our harmful karma, taking refuge in Buddha, Dharma, and Sangha, receiving precepts and vowing the bodhisattva vows, the boundless body of Buddha is revealed. Upon cutting the Shuddha and donning the Buddha robe, you become a supreme example to the world, a great traveler on the path of freedom. Let us work the oars for the benefit of all beings. Through discipleship in the Buddha's lineage, both body and mind become one with the truth. The merit of this bodhisattva life is most excellent. There is merit in building a stupa that reaches far into the heavens, but compared to this, the merit is 1/100th. A stupa may be ruined, but the merit of this vow is always increasing toward enlightenment and will never lose its power. Going far beyond delusion without throwing away this earthly body, even though we do not know our own enlightenment, we are already the real children of Buddha. Ogyoku. Reflect on the virtue of your parents, your family, your teachers, and community. Consider and be grateful for the blessings bestowed by the land, water, and trees. Go now and pay respects to them all. And prostrate to the founder of this temple, Butsugen Joshin Dai Osho. This is liberation manifest.
Buddhas, homage to all the Dharmas, homage to all the Sanghas, homage to our original teacher, Shakyamuni Buddha, homage to all the Bodhisattva ancestors. I pray that you will all come here as witnesses. Let us recite the names of Buddha. Vajrayana Buddha, pure Dharma Gaya. Lojana Buddha, complete Sambhogagaya. Shakyamuni Buddha, myriad Nirmana Gaya. Maitreya Buddha, preservers. All Buddhas throughout space and time. Lotus of the wondrous Dharma Mahayana Sutra. Manjushri Bodhisattva, great wisdom. Samantabhadra Bodhisattva, great activity. Avalokiteshvara Bodhisattva, great compassion. All honored ones, Bodhisattvas, Mahasattvas, wisdom beyond wisdom, Mahaprajna. This final clump of hair is known as the Shura. Only a Buddha can cut it off. I am going to cut it off. Will you permit me to do so or not?
Yes.
This final clump of hair is known as the Shura. Only a Buddha can cut it off. I am going to cut it off. Will you permit me to do so or not?
Yes.
This final clump of hair is known as the Shura. Only a Buddha can cut it off. I am going to cut it off. Will you permit me to do so or not?
Yes.
You will continue to be known in the Dharma as Ogyoku. jewel of the inner depths. Let us recite the robe verse. To receive the precepts, you should first perform Sangha, atonement. There is a Sangha verse that has been maintained by the Buddhas. By reciting it, your past wrongdoings lose their hold on you. Repeat after me. All my past and harmful karma,
all my past
body, speech, and mind. I now fully avow. All my past and harmful karma. Born from beginningless greed, hate, and illusion. Body, speech, and mind. I now fully avow. All my past and harmful karma. Born from beginningless greed, hate, and illusion. Body, speech, and mind. I now fully avow. You have cleansed your body, speech, and mind, and become pure by the power of atonement. You should take refuge in the three treasures of Buddha, Dharma, and Sangha. When refuge is taken, the three merits are complete. の三天水万物先進なりの三天水万物先進なりの三天水万物先進なり。Repeat after me. I take refuge in Buddha. I take refuge in Dharma. I take refuge in Dharma. I take refuge in Sangha. Refuge in the unsurpassed Buddha. I take refuge in the unsurpassed Buddha. I take refuge in the immaculate Dharma. Refuge in the harmonious Sangha. I take refuge in the harmonious Sangha. I take refuge in Buddha. Refuge in Dharma. I take refuge in Dharma. I take refuge in Sangha. Now you have left behind your past misdeeds and taken refuge in the triple treasure. From this time, the Buddha and true enlightenment are your real teacher. Call the Buddha your master. This is my compassion to you. You have received the precepts of the three treasures. Now you should receive the 3 pure precepts and 10 grave precepts. 3 pure precepts. Embracing codes and forms. From this present state to that of becoming a Buddha, will you maintain this precept or not?
I will.
Embracing good dharmas. From this present state to that of becoming a Buddha, will you maintain this precept or not?
I will.
Embracing living beings. From this present state to that of becoming a Buddha, will you maintain this precept or not?
I will.
These are the three pure precepts. From this present state to that of becoming a Buddha, will you maintain these precepts or not?
I will.
These are the three pure precepts. From this present state to that of becoming a Buddha, will you maintain these precepts or not?
I will.
These are the three pure precepts. From this present state to that of becoming a Buddha, will you maintain these precepts or not?
I will.
Next are the 10 grave precepts. First precept, not killing. From this present state to that of becoming a Buddha, will you maintain this precept or not?
I will.
Second precept, not stealing. From this present state to that of becoming a Buddha, will you maintain this precept or not?
I will.
Third precept, not misusing sexuality. From this present state to that of becoming a Buddha, will you maintain this precept or not?
I will.
Fourth precept, not speaking falsely. From this present state to that of becoming a Buddha, will you maintain this precept or not?
I will.
Fifth precept, not dealing in intoxicants. From this present state to that of becoming a Buddha, will you maintain this precept or not?
I will.
Sixth precept, not discussing faults. From this present state to that of becoming a Buddha, will you maintain this precept or not?
I will.
Seventh precept, not praising self and criticizing others. From this present state to that of becoming a Buddha, will you maintain this precept or not?
I will.
Eighth precept, not being stingy with dharma or wealth. From this present state to that of becoming a Buddha, will you maintain this precept or not?
I will.
Ninth precept, not being angry. From this present state to that of becoming a Buddha, will you maintain this precept or not?
I will.
10th precept, not disparaging the triple treasure. From this present state to that of becoming a Buddha, will you maintain this precept or not?
I will.
These are the 10 grave precepts. From this present state to that of becoming a Buddha, will you maintain these precepts or not?
I will.
These are the 10 grave precepts. From this present state to that of becoming a Buddha, will you maintain these precepts or not?
I will.
These are the 10 grave precepts. From this present state to that of becoming a Buddha, will you maintain these precepts or not?
I will.
Maintain them as stated. Having received the precepts of living beings and Buddhas, you enter the rank of the myriad Buddhas. This is truly to become a child of the awakened ones. At this time, in all the Buddha lands of the 10 directions, auspicious signs appear. The earth trembles and flowers fall. The bodhisattvas of other worlds ask their Buddha what this means. And the Buddhas reply that in the world of suffering, among those who are heir to the Dharma of Shakyamuni Buddha, a person of faith has given rise to a serious intention. They have been converted to the truth and have received the pure great precepts of the bodhisattvas from the preceptor who previously received them from the line of Shakyamuni's heirs. In a future age, she will become a Buddha through this merit. It is for this reason that the universe rejoices. In every Buddha land, these miraculous signs have appeared. Upon hearing this explanation, the bodhisattvas bow toward you, saying, "If this is so, you are the same as we, a fellow traveler on the way. Hence, with all Buddhas as preceptors and with the bodhisattvas as your friends, you are able to receive these precepts. Their merit is indestructible and secure. This is the precept that never ages and never decays. I pray that you may never lose it, and that you may always maintain and keep it. Although there are causes and conditions for every circumstance partakes of the Dharma body. How could there be a realm where the precept does not apply? Who shall dedicate this merit? With what and to whom shall this merit be dedicated? Although there is a giver and receiver, the 3 wheels are completely pure. There is nothing to be wished for. Let us preserve our good karmic roots, and together with all sentient beings, make a dedication of merit that is equally shared to supreme and perfect awakening." All Buddhas who have been and time, all honored ones, Bodhisattvas, wisdom beyond wisdom,
I wish to enter Koji training.
This robe appears miraculously, sewn by many hands. A visual instance of the mandala of awakening. I encourage you to not avoid the direct embrace, to move forward and embrace is half of it. To be embraced is the other. Here and in your home in Baja, there is a multitude of beings who need your attention and that are ready to save you.
enter Koji training.
The robe feels heavy. To learn to wear it, not as the weight of the world, but as the freedom of your body. This is training. The spiritual light has completely melted the block of ice. And as your body of freedom dances, let it be taught by the gravity of responsibility that it does not stand in the way of your true heart of practice and the deep offering you have to bring to this community. You are fierce.
enter Koji training.
The color of this robe is like a dark pool. Its fragrance like deep earth. As you enter the jewel in the inner depths, know that that portal is also a fountain of light. It is fire and it is water. It will raise your spirit, allow you to draw water from the depths, and to bring down fire from the sky. The path is straight ahead. Abiding in this ephemeral world like a lotus in muddy water, the mind is pure and goes beyond. Thus we bow to